Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Mad Capper and there's another video on Raid Shadow Legends. As you can see behind me, these 5 beautiful bastards are doing a clan boss Clover draft. And I thought it would be fun for me to analyze their picks and go over what I think they missed. And as a bonus feature, before Friday, hopefully, it's a little bit difficult getting Void Affinity clan bosses when you're in the live server, by the way, just saying. But I'm going to try to jump over to one of our clans that doesn't hit the Ultra Nightmare clan boss. I'm going to put a key in, and I'm going to see what I can do with the champions they didn't pick. I've picked a team of 5 champions, not in the original draft, and I'm going to put out one for you to see whether or not I can hang with the boys. Let me tell you, I can't. There's 2 problems I have. One, I get to pick after their 30 picks. Actually, technically plus their band, so there are 36 picks. And on top of that, I have to use my own gear. I'm not going to be re-gearing all my champions just to make this, so I'm not stealing gear, which means I'm using kind of leftover gear as well. So it's going to be the leftovers is going to be the name of the team, and I'm going to see how much I can do. I'm hoping for a 3 key. If I get to 2 key, it'd be crazy. I don't know. We'll see how these guys go with their teams. I imagine when you see the brilliance on there, someone's going to unlock the code to get close to a 1 key, or at least I'm suspecting the top damage here is going to be 40 million. That's going to be my guess. We'll see on Friday what actually happens, but that is my guess for it. But let's just go. What I'm going to do here is we're going to analyze the draft at a couple different points here. You can see the beginning. I'm going to analyze the pick order. Then I'm going to analyze their picks up to the bands. I'm going to analyze the bands, and then we're going to talk about their whole teams and who I think who's got the best, the worst, etc., etc. So let's just get right into this. I didn't, like a fool, I didn't mark where they were with each of these pieces. So hopefully I don't ruin too much here. Okay, so now, so first we get the players. So this is the draft order. This is the first thing you're going to see. You're going to see Demetha as the first pick, but you see the draft order. So you've got what's best for you, the first pick overall or the last pick overall, because it's a snake draft. So you see that Nub Raids starts first, but then Deadwood gets both the 5th and 6th pick. Nub Raid gets the 10th and 11th pick, and then Deadwood gets the 15th, 16th pick. And then on band round, they actually made a mistake here. On band round, Deadwood goes first, and round 4, Nub gets the double pick on, 20 and 25, or 25, sorry, 2021, and then finally Deadwood gets the last 2 of the snake draft. So that's how that works. So we're all in the same page here. And I gotta say, I really like Deadwood's start here. He has an opportunity to pick 2 champions that he likes equally for 2 different teams. So he can go with and because one of them is going to get banned. So if he picks it depends on, obviously Demetha's off the board, but it depends on who else is off the board. I suspect Maneater, Skullcrusher, maybe Warcaster, any of the unkillables for sure. There's only 1 counterattack team out there, so those are going to be out there. And then there's champions that enable that, so any speed boost. So just pick your speed boost / speed buff champion. They'll probably be in danger. And then maybe even, probably not here, but you also got to think champions like Painkeeper might be available. She allows slow tune teams to be able to activate unkillable if, for example, one of the unkillable makes it out there. So there's a lot going on there. Overall, I think I prefer probably Deadwood or YST's position because of the ban. If there was no ban, definitely Nub Raids, the number 1 pick, is great. But not only does Nub have to essentially get his first actual pick 10th, that's the awful. But on top of it, he does get 10 and 11, but on top of it, Deadwood gets to buffer his, and so does probably YST. They get to buffer their picks. So if they pick 2 picks that they are 2 completely different styles for them, or maybe they pick 2 of the exact same style. So for example, if you're trying to do turn meter boost, you pick Deacon and Seeker. Here, ban one of them, I've got the other, and I've enabled myself an easy 2-to-1 speed team. So that's kind of the thought there. So let's just we're going to go and we're going to see the first up to the bands. I don't know. I don't want to go too far. Actually, why don't we just stop right here for a second? Let's just talk about the first round picks here. Demetha, pretty easy pick. I'm gonna skip Goldberg because that was a definite different pick there. So we have Demetha, Seeker, Deacon, Maneater. Those are all champions that are probably going to be banned. If I were the one choosing the bans, I would absolutely. But you see what happened there? Exactly what we said. Deadwood picked Maneater, Skull Crushers. So now he has two completely different opportunities there. Though you can use Skull Crusher in a Maneater comp, absolutely. But he has two opportunities there. I don't know who he'd get on the third, but if there was any possibility he could get a third champion that people would want to ban, that would be amazing. Unfortunately, when they drop all the legendaries out, if, for example, this was legendaries included, you could go Cernic as well. You could go Roshkard as well. You could go, you could do something like Draco, where Draco's the easiest. I won't say he's the best, but he's the easiest damage dealer in the game. So getting rid of those does make this a little bit different. So that's kind of that first round. Now let's take a look up to the ban. Oh, I like the feature Fane there. A little bit of extra. Look at him with his production value. Okay, we're just about there. Deadwood just has to pick. And he picks Anax. So here we are. This is going into the ban round. What are the first three picks? First three rounds look like to me. Well, Nubraids first has Demetha, Dark Kale, Ruella. Demetha is going to be gone. Dark Kale, amazing pick. He has got tons of poisons. You can either disable. Well, I don't think you can disable his activations because activations are explosions which are at 50%, or is it automatically triggers? I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's the same as a poison explosion. So I think he does get full value out of that. But Dark Kale overall, just a great champion to have in this sort of thing. You don't really need to build him for damage. You can kind of supplement it with damage, but you just want him survivable to get those poisons out up and often. I really like it. Ruella, that's an interesting pick. And if you watch the actual draft, it's kind of fun. He doesn't actually have Ruella on his count. So part of this is him pulling, he's going to be pulling shards on the test server in order to get Ruella. If he doesn't get Ruella, he has to sub her out because each one of them gets one champion they can sub out after the draft is complete. So, and I skipped over it before, but we'll talk about it now. White Dryad Naya did two things. Number one, it gave, I think, it gave Deadwood the Maneater Skull Crusher tandem, right? Of which one will be banned, but they can only ban one. But it also gave Cold Brew an extremely interesting champion. She's hard to tune, but White Dryad does so many things for the clan boss, so many different things for the clan boss that I think it's a low key crazy pick. Also, Cold Brew getting Venomage and Farrakhan. So what he's got is he's got an ally attack, probably will be banned, but he's also got the White Dryad. And he's got Veno. So Veno, tons of poisons, tons of damage mitigation. Very strong. He's got Veno. She's got debuffs. Overall, really good, solid champion with White Dryad to be able to cleanse and speed. But I can't even remember all the stuff she has. I don't have her on my account. And Farrakhan, I assume he's going to be banned. But if he isn't, he's got poisons and decreased defense and the ally attack. So one of the top champions among epics for the clan boss. So Cold Brew again, starting really solid. Then we've got hellhades, easiest to read. Seeker, Taragi, Fane. Again, this is a good example. Again, he's got two different avenues here. Not that he wouldn't be able to do both together, but he's saying, here's my Seeker for my easy 2-1. You're going to ban that? Good. You gave me Taragi. Ally Protect, Poison, Self-Heal. I mean, Taragi is one of the best champions, especially in non-unkillable teams. He's absolutely amazing. And to get him, and knowing that, okay, so dare you to ban my Taragi? Well, you're just going to give me a 2-1 with Seeker and Fane? Absolutely. Fane, probably the most complete champion for the clan boss, in my opinion. The only problem is she's very fragile. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of... I mean, he's got great gear, so he can probably get her to 4,200 defense with good HP and to be able to do that damage. But how much damage can she do? Because literally you've got poisons, decreased attack, decreased defense, all on the same champion, and weaken, right? She has everything. So you're really not going to be... The only problem is how long does she live? Hotatsu is an amazing champion that I didn't really think about when I first saw the draft. But YST really kind of crushed it in his draft. He's got Deacon Geo Hotatsu. Um, Geomancer should be banned, but because he's got Deacon, I'm pretty sure Deacon's going to be banned. So Geo Hotatsu, he's got one of the two available, and or he's got two of the three available, and no matter what combination he's allowed with, he's got great opportunity there. Hotatsu is just overall a great support champion. It's kind of like the White Dried Nia, but a lot easier to tune, and he brings a lot to the table. So great job on that one. And then finally we have Deadwood. And Deadwood, hey, he's done exactly what he needs. Goes Man-Eater, Skullcrusher, Anax. Anax has an A1 that activates. So having counterattack and a champion that uses something with his A1, very good, very strong pick. I probably would have picked Tyrell in that spot, but I think he's actually smarter. Anax brings a little more overall to the battle, even though he is squishy. He's much like Fane. He's very squishy. Whereas Tyrell, very stalwart. He's a defense-based champion, but only has the defense down and the attack down. And they're going to be going 2-1 probably. All of them are going to try to do it 2-1. So that 4-turn cooldown is really not a big deal for the Tay-Tay. All right, so who do I think is going to be banned? Demetha, easy. Cold Brew's probably going to lose Farrakhan. I think that just gives you so many extra hits throughout a run. Although I will say, because I don't think any of these guys are going to last 50 turns, I think that's really, so far, I don't see any way to mitigate that much damage. And I don't know if there's a ton of epics that are going to allow you to mitigate that much damage. So it'll be interesting. I think Farrakhan's a red herring. I don't think Farrakhan in a 28 turn does that much extra damage. Though I guess any extra hits are extra hits. So maybe I'm the crazy one here. But Cold Brew basically has Veno, which is with that passive she's got, that if you put a decrease heal reduction, then she actually reduces damage incoming. Really good. It's got poisons. I believe she has the defense down as well. So, I mean, he's got an overall good start, probably with White Dryad and Veno. Will be interesting to see how he fills that out. Hellhades, I think Hellhades is going to lose to... Well, see, here's the thing. If I were banning Hellhades, I would ban Fane. Because I think Fane is the biggest damage dealer so far on the board. All things considered, Geo might have an argument that if you can make the fight last that long. And Taragi is the best ally protect, and you need ally protect when you don't have unkillable. That's what makes these turns last longer. I would ban Fane. I'd ban Fane. I honestly, it's going to be Seeker or Taragi, but I would ban Fane. Now YST, again, he's kind of hedged his bets. It doesn't matter who they ban. He's got 2 wins no matter what. Again, Deacon, that turn meter production, plus he gets down to a 2-turn cooldown and a decreased defense, so it's always up. Yeah, Deacon's gone. I would probably ban Deacon, but I would consider Geo, because if he's got just Deacon and Hotatsu, yes, there's other poisoners out there, but I don't think there's other people at the level of Geo's just contained, easy to do damage. And remember, Geo he's got good HP, so you can just build him up to be tanky. And it'll last that much longer, and the reflect damage and it's just so much nicer. And then Deadwood, I mean, it's obvious. Man-Eater, Skullcrusher. You have to ban Man-Eater. It would be nice to say you ban Skullcrusher, but the reality is Man-Eater gets you 50 turns. And 50 turns gets you enough damage to win this event. So Man-Eater definitely going to be banned. So let's see what's going on here. They do a lot of chatty McChatty. So Man-Eater banned, not a shock. Well, it looks like Seeker. Oh, okay. Deacon, he just decided to show. So Deacon banned. Seeker, okay, Seeker banned. I would have banned Fane. I would have put it on him, but Farrakhan the Fat, not surprising. And Demetha, not surprising. So there we go. There's the bans. Now let's go and let them draft the remainder, and then we'll talk about what the final result is here. All right, here is the final result, the team. So after the ban, Archmage Helmet, which is a real good damage multiplier. He's got increased crit rate. He's got increase. All his turn meter stuff is irrelevant, but he's got the increase crit damage. He does great damage himself. He's got a speed buff, so that's going to keep his 2-1 alive. Really great pick. Godseeker and Eerie, again, you've seen these buff extenders, right? It's starting to happen. Some heals. Claude, heals, speed buff. Runekeeper, Dadric, Leech, very smart, heals, and increase attack. And I feel like I'm missing one. Does he have a turn meter boost, I think? I can't remember. Sepulchre Sentinel. Well, Sepulchre Sentinel is one of the traditional amazing. Probably really good. Really good in a 4-3. It'd be interesting how... I guess with does Nub have an extender yet? Nub has Sandlashed afterwards. So Sepulchre Sandlash makes sense. So Sepulchre is going to be able to, on a 2-1, if he can get a 2-1. He doesn't have a boost. I think he can still get a 2-1 with pretty crazy stat expectations. But Sandlash has an extend. Plus she has sort of an ally protect. Grush has heals. He has some good strong damage mitigation. And Sepulchre is that 2-turn block debuffs. So that's going to be really strong to make sure there's no stuns. There's no, I guess, the poisons. It's going to be void affinity. So overall, yeah, I think Nub. The only thing I worry about with Nub is I expect him to swap out maybe Grush. Now keep in mind. So let's read Nub again. Sepulchre, Darkkill, Ruella, Sandlashed, and Grush. I think Ruella gets swapped out. Oh, she's got the debuffs though. Ooh, this is a tough one. So Sepulchre has the attack down. Darkkill has the overall poison kit. Sandlashed has the buff extension and damage mitigation. Ruella has the debuffs. And I would almost say probably remove Grush for a turn meter boost, like Apothecary. Because I really feel like he needs that 2-1 speed. If he can get it without it, then I would try it because I like Grush in this team. But I think in order to compete damage-wise, he needs that 2-1 somehow. And I'm not good enough at the clan boss to tell you how to do it without a turn meter boost. Next, let's take a look at Cold Booster. Cold Brew went with White Dryad, Runekeeper, Lost Farrakhan. He's got Venno, Jareg, and Liburga. So Jareg, attack down, ally protect, and heals. His heals can actually be pretty crazy. So long as you survive the clan boss's hit, Jareg is going to likely keep you alive for the next round, right? He just has that passive that puts a 15% continuous heal on champions when they lose a percentage of health. And Liburga, I actually did a video. I was a little bit unimpressed with her in an unkillable team, but she's got tons of damage potential. And I think between Venno and Liburga, I think that's a Liburga. I think that's a good call for him. I think that'll do enough. She's definitely a strong champion in this bit. Again, I don't see a 2-1 out of Cold Brew, and I think that concerns me unless there's something I'm missing. So the problem I see with Cold Brew is who does he leave out? Right? If he wants to bring in a 2-1 champion, because I think White Dryad extends a lot, but where's the turn meter? I don't know. Cold Brew, I like Cold Brew's team, but I really wish it had. I really wish he had one other thing in there. But I understand he had to pick Liburga for damage. Hellhades has Claude, Taragi, Fane, Lost Seeker, Anchorite, and Marked. Rare champion. Marked has increased accuracy, and is she like a 1-turn block debuffs, maybe? I'm trying to remember. Interesting pick. Anchorite I really like. He's got some heals, but mainly he's got the buff extension. Fane, all the damage. Taragi, mitigation plus poisons. Claude has speed buff, and I believe he has shields. Overall, really good. He's a really good champion that allows he allows for a non-boosted 2-1. So Hellhades has actually done a video on this with oh gosh, what's her name? Lydia. And I actually was trying to recreate that video with Claude. I never got around to doing it. So I'm actually really glad we're going to be able to see it. Hopefully he doesn't swap out Claude. I feel like he might be tempted to swap out because he has no heals. Tragi can heal himself. Anchorite's heals are only his damage, so going to be a little bit scary there. But overall, I suspect that Marked will be gone, and he'll just tank the stun. Try to figure that out, or or something for heals, or maybe he'll take out Anchorite. Although Anchorite is the extend that he needs on the speed buff, so I expect to see some kind of heal come into his life. And then YST, Godseeker, Geo, Hotatsu, Rearguard, Haikatoon. This is a ridiculously good team. Haikatoon's got the speed boost for the 2-1. Rearguard Sergeant's got the ally protect he got the block. He's got a decreased attack. I think the one thing I don't like about I was thinking of someone else. I was thinking Grizzled Jarl. It's right below. Rearguard has a decreased defense on an A1. I think she has an A3. She has the ally protect. So overall, great team. Hotatsu is has got a cleanse. Overall, great pick there. Geo is going to do tons of damage, and Godseeker is going to extend. Let's check out Hotatsu. I really want to see. I'm on my free to play account here, just for giggles, and let's just see. We'll drop this out for a second. Let's talk about Hotatsu because I think it's really. I kind of have an idea, but I'm not 100%. Oh, I actually have her on this account. So he's got the leech. I know that, and that's going to be a big deal for heals. Oh, he's got a decreased attack on a 3-turn cooldown. He's got increased defense and a continuous heal. Removes a random debuff from this champion at the start of each turn. Okay, so if he can get it to work properly, this could be your stun target because he'll get stunned and he'll remove it. So then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, that's good. And then let's just double check White Dryad because I do not know her or have her. She's got whenever this champion is healed, heals each ally except this champion by 20% of that heal. So you put her in lifesteal and she heals the rest of the team for 20% of it. Ally protection, okay. Plus a baby strengthen, better than no strengthen. Removes all debuffs from a target ally, heals them by 40% of their max HP. If this target skill is not this champion, decreases the cooldown of all the target skills by 2 turns. So that could be really interesting. You pick a stun target, she's going to remove the debuffs, heal them back up, and reduces cooldown so they can do things again. I like that one. And has a decreased speed, doesn't matter. Okay. Interesting. That's interesting. As long as you're getting the right person targeted, because I believe they have to do this on auto after the first 7 turns or something. That's an interesting White Dryad. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back and take a look here. What we have. Hotatsu YST with Hotatsu is that. I mean, this team looks crazy. And then Deadwood has Archmage, Helmet, Skullcrusher, Anax, Grizzled Jarl, and Trumbor. I promise he's going to switch Trumbor. That's not the right guy. He needs Trumbor's good, but it's not the right guy. He's got a leech, but I think he was looking for something else. Grizzled Jarl's got an increased defense. He's got a block debuffs. Anax has tons of damage. Skullcrusher is going to allow them to counterattack. I think he wants to well, God, that leech all the time would be good. They're always going to be healed. I just feel like he has no ally protect, right? Well, Skullcrushers, I guess, is ally protect. I take that back. He could replace Grizzled Jarl and use Skullcrusher as his stun target, which will give him extra turns. Because if you can make that work where Skullcrusher is your stun target, then he does it on when he's got his unkillable on him. And then he can actually cleanse himself if you do the tune right. But even if you don't, you bring in a cleanse. I don't know. That's just a thought. He could do that. He could use Grizzled Jarl and still use Skullcrusher as the stun target. I don't know. I'm curious about this. So, the way I look at it, I think the best team on paper is YST. Just the amount that Geomancer is going to do, they're going to be taking damage quite early. So he's going to get a lot of procs on the Reflect plus the passive plus his Giant Slayer War Master. And he's allowing his team to just play. He's got ally protect. He's got cleanse. He's got stun target that can cleanse himself. Right. Haikatoon for the 2-1. Godseeker with heals. The heals might be a little bit weak, but then you have that leech. the leech plus Godseeker heals is probably more than enough. Um, and Godseeker also extends debuffs, and I think we forget that Godseeker is needed here to extend buffs, but it also extends debuffs, and I think that's a big deal for her. I think that's going to be a big difference maker, and that's why I think I'm picking him number one for this. Again, just so I remember, Godseeker's not saying wrong things here. She heals all allies by 15% of the max HP, decreases the duration of all buffs on enemies. Oh, it's decrease duration of all buffs. See, I always get them mixed up. So she can also revive and revive on death. So you're gonna get extra turns. It's gonna ruin the tune, but hey, extra damage at the end of your fight when someone's dying by revive on death or by an actual revive. Either or, if she's the one, she can self revive off her passive. Really good. Uh, really good opportunity there if she's in trouble. Also fills our turn meter by 50%. So depending on who dies, it might actually keep tune because of 50% turn meter. It just depends on who gets killed. But that doesn't necessarily mean a dead tune. Also, so she's going to remove the increased attack, which is good. You don't want to give the boss any extra. She's gonna increase all the buffs on hers, and that's what you need her for. Plus, she's gonna heal, just little baby heals off of her A1. I honestly think Godseeker would have been an amazing champion for Deadwood. Would he? Did he have a hope? Yeah, instead of Archmage, he could have picked Godseeker. I think that Godseeker would have been a better because then you're getting 5% on the counter attack as well plus all the other bonus. I don't know. It's so tough. These guys know what they're doing better than me. I'm gonna pick YST is gonna be the favorite right now. I'm gonna say Deadwood can remove Trumbor, and because of that, he can pick someone that's a little bit better for his team. And because he's getting the extra hits with Skull Crusher, if he picks someone who's got a very impactful A1 to supplement damage or survivability, I think Deadwood's number two. I like hellhades for number three because of Fane. I expect him to remove Marked, which will help him better off. Culper's the wild card. That could just do ridiculous damage. I don't know what it's going to do. I suspect he can't get a 2-1 without dropping someone, but who do you drop? Maybe Runekeeper? But Runekeeper also keeps the survivability. So I don't know. I think Cold Brew's the most unique. I give him props there, and I think it's a wild card. He could be first, he could be last. And then Nub Raids, I think Nub Raids on paper looks like it's just about the same as hellhades. We're talking like 500,000 between them. He's got way more survivability at the outset, I think, between Sepulcher and Sandlashed. I think Rowella might have been a bit of a wild card, but with Dark Kale, it could work really well. Having Grush the Mangler, he might replace him with someone a little bit more standard. I don't know. We'll see. But very interesting overall. I'm excited to see what happens. But I'm gonna say it's gonna go YST, Deadwood, hellhades, Nubraids, Cold Brew. That's what I'm gonna pick. Cold Brew's the wild card though. He could be first, he could be last. I can't really. I don't even know who to pick. But the last thing I want to show you is my team, the Leftovers, and hopefully we'll be able to bring that to you soon. I've got a plan in place to clan hop briefly just so I can make the video, which is probably a bad idea because then I'm going to ruin something else. But is what it is. I'm going to wait until we kill Hydras so that I don't lose my Hydra keys. But let me show you here, just logging into my account here, my main account. So this is the team we are going to be using. Actually, let's just do it this way. I won't show you the stats, not today at least, but I will show you the team we're using. Keeping in mind, like I said before, I have two things that are going against me. Number one, I'm on the live server, so I have to use my own gear and my own resources to build this, and it's I just can't afford to steal gear from anyone and everyone to make the absolute best teams. So I'm guessing I'm probably losing 5 million damage on that. I suspect 3 to 5 million. Just because if I can last extra turns, then obviously I'm going to get extra damage. Plus, I'm going to be able to do a little bit more damage. You put it together. But the team we're going to be using is right here, And these are the 5 champions they didn't use that I feel is really going to bring it through. Now, one caveat, I'm testing Duck versus Tyrell. I think Tyrell is actually going to be the better. It's more consistent on his A1 to land that decrease attack. Because if Duck gets resisted even once, then I don't have decreased attack and I'm in trouble. Tyrell gets so many opportunities. And then I got to test to see whether I want to block Tyrell's A3 or allow it, because it does so much damage, but it's an extra turn to be able to put up that decreased attack. So, how's this team? First of all, this team is a 2-to-1 team. I'm using Kunoichi as my ally protect. Or my ally protect. She is very difficult to tune, but I have her tuned and it's amazing. Actually, she's at a very, very slow speed, which allows me to build her even better. She also has leech, which is really important. Then we have Duck / Tyrell. I think it's going to be Tyrell, but I want to make sure I can test not on Force Affinity, so we have to do some testing tomorrow. But I think Duck is or Tyrell. They're bringing the decreased defense, decreased attack, some pretty good damage. Actually, they both can smack pretty decently, but their primary focus is to survive. They're both defense based champions. Then we have the 2 rares. We have Apothecary. He's got turn meter boost and speed buff. And then Valerie is the most budget friendly of them all. She's here to extend the buff. She also puts a little baby shield on, some extra stuff, but she's really just there to extend. I think the biggest hurt on this and not being part of the draft is that I have to use Valerie, and she's going to bring 0 damage to it. Even Apothecary will deal damage because he's going to have Giant Slayer, and that means extra procs on that. I could have put him in a toxic suit normally, but my secret weapon, Urticata. Urticata is, first of all, ally speed in all battles by 15%. Once you get rid of Deacon, there's not a whole lot for Clan Boss that has a speed buff. That means my requirements drop on this whole team by 15% on speed. Secondly, she puts a 5% poison for 1 turn, has a 30% chance every time someone crits. So all I have to do to get her damage up there is make sure everyone else is critting if they're crit capped. That's all I have to do. Also, I do have some supplementary heals from Apothecary, but of course we're going to be using Leech as our main, which is scary. And I have a couple champions that I put in Guardian set or in Stalwart sets. I was trying to use the new Defiant, but I just didn't have enough gear rolled up to be able to make that work. But overall, this is the team I'm going to use. We're going to see, like I said, my goal is a 3 key because I don't have the same ability for gear as they do, because I can't reasonably steal the gear from my best player. So I have like 30 champions that I just can't take their gear. So I'm 36 champions out because I can't pick any of the champions they did, and I'm 30 champions worth of gear behind to try to make this team work. But we're gonna run this. We're gonna see what we can do, and we'll put that video out for you next. And then, like I said, hopefully on the weekend I'll get some more champion guides for you. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you if you made it through this whole video. God bless your soul. And most importantly, please be kind, be safe. Good luck to the Clover Draft entrance of Nub Raids, hellhades. Who else was in it? Deadwood Jedi. I forget. YST and Cold Brew Gaming. I root for you all, and please don't be hurt if I picked your team last. Surprise me, Cold Brew. Make me feel ashamed to ever doubt your high level thinking. I'm gonna have the lowest number of all of you, so feel good in that. Thank you. Kind, be safe, and we'll see you in the next video.